Hello there, friend. Get ready for a day filled with adventure. The theme is imagination, and imagination is a really important and powerful thing. I think that a lot of us forget our imaginations as we age. We don't really exist in a society that values imagination very much. When we are children, we are often naturally and fearlessly imaginative. But as we get older, we tend to sacrifice our imaginations in exchange for maturity, stability, predictability. It's not that these things are bad, they actually serve us really well, especially in a world where you can't live on imaginary food. But there is power in balance. And it is unfortunate that many of us not only turn off our imaginations in strategic moments from time to time, but that we turn them off altogether and forget where or how to find the switch to turn them back on. Being imaginative requires being brave and non-judgmental. Because when we plunge into our imaginations, we are plunging into ourselves. And we may find something dainty, like Bellamy Bug hiding in there. Imagination also requires focus, that we stay interested and curious about the contents of our own mind, of our own experience. And that when we come to these roadblocks, or things that surface that we don't enjoy, that we are able to continue to say yes to them, to keep the momentum flowing. We are much more comfortable being safe, being buttoned up, judging our thoughts and actions as they arise, and letting through only the ones that we know will serve us well in our context, that will make people like us, that will help us feel like a good person, and so on and so forth. And again, these are not bad skills, nor are we terrible people for doing what we must to get a job or make friends. What is lost is when we lose that balance, when we forget our ability to daydream at all, and when we shut ourselves off from ourselves and our creative experience so much that we also shut ourselves off from spontaneity and joy and childlikeness, all of which are also valuable and make us uniquely who we are. I hope by this point you're thinking to yourself, Joss, none of this applies to me. I am wonderfully imaginative and creatively unblocked and capable of enjoying my life and surroundings merely by calling attention to my own mind. Really and truly, I hope that is the case. And if so, you have a great deal to teach me, and I hope you'll let me know all of your secrets. But even after a couple years of meditating and creative unblocking classes and many hours spent trying to cultivate my imagination, I must honestly admit that it is something I personally still struggle with. The voices of insecurity and distraction are loud, and they often say to me, barf that, imagination is for turbo nerds who can't handle how kick-butt reality is. I'm a kick-butt reality monster. But I have made progress, most of which I attribute to the skills I have learned and cultivated through meditation, which is why I feel passionate enough to share them with you. But imagination, like meditation, takes practice. These skills remind me of one of the basic rules of improv theater, which is yes and. This refers to when two actors, or more, are playing off one another, and no matter what happens, no matter what ideas come up or how stupid or dainty a joke may be, there is a commitment between everyone involved to say yes to the joke, to the moment, the stakes, whatever, and to add to it, to keep it going, to keep momentum moving. Maybe it's not always the highest quality idea or scene, and if you've seen improv, you know that it's not. But good things are written this way, some of the best when people get into a real flow, generously responding to whatever comes up and finding a way to make it work. And this is the kind of relationship we are striving to cultivate with ourselves, or at least the kind of relationship I am trying to cultivate with myself, and that I want to see more of, both in myself and in the world around me. And a curious thing about imagination, in my observation, you do not have to agree with me, is that it does indeed shape our reality. It's like whatever you imagine becomes real. That's bananas. And not in a literal, instantaneous sense, where you imagine $1 million and then they appear, but in the sense that whether or not your imagination impacts material reality, it undoubtedly affects your relationship to reality, your relationship to your senses, and what you are capable of believing is possible. And one of those slippery, troubling, open questions for me pertains to exactly this. What is the relationship between our perception and reality? Particularly when we cannot know reality outside of our own perception. I know for a fact that I am not the center of the universe, but I experience myself as the center of my experience of the universe. And pretending as if this isn't true has caused me a lot of harm. But when I can stay connected to myself, friendly with myself, when I can say yes to whatever comes up and find a way to look forward to what comes next without rushing ahead or looking disdainfully at what's happening in the present moment, well, when I find that I'm in that state, in that space, it feels very good, and I know that I'm in a good place. It's a lot, though. It's ambitious, and it's dynamic. I don't mean to suggest that I live my life here or anything, but it's something I aspire to, something I can learn from. And I find myself experiencing it more frequently, more vividly, and for longer periods of time, the more that I continue to cultivate the skills of mindfulness and imagination, which seem to have a lot in common. But all right, enough out of me. Let's use our imaginations, man. And of course, as always, I mean man in the gender-neutral sense. Let's begin. Start by settling into the body posture. You can make adjustments, whatever you need to get comfy. Take several deep breaths as you allow yourself to arrive in this moment. Consciously set aside whatever came before and whatever may be coming ahead. And look for that balance of alert and relaxed, using your breath as your guide. On the inhale, the upward movement, take in that aliveness, that alertness. Maybe finding a bit more length or uprightness in your spine if you're sitting or standing, but not too much. Not overarching your back, just upright. Letting the curve of the spine be natural. And on the exhale, that's the settling motion, the downward motion. You can let your exhales be a little longer than your inhales, really savoring the body's release. Relax your face, your eyes, your jaw, your neck. Let your shoulders drop a fraction of an inch. Good. A few more deep breaths as you collect yourself here. And the mind can race, and your body can hold on to tension. That is okay. We're not forcing our body to respond in any way that it doesn't want to. There is no getting this wrong. But just check in with your body now. Notice anything that may be different from before we started. Great. A couple more deep breaths. Really feeling into the body, the feeling of the breath in the body. And then let your breath be natural as it will be. You don't have to make your body breathe. It will take care of that all on its own. You can note any other sensations that come up for you. Heartbeat, if you're still enough. butt on the chair or cushion, hair against your neck, loud sounds all around, or maybe total silence. And let it all be there. We don't need to change any of it. We just recognize it and welcome it. Good. That's good. Even these simple intentions and space to breathe calms our parasympathetic nervous system and begins to increase feelings of calm. And this is really healing. When you're ready, bring your attention to the space between breaths. The end of the exhale before your next in-breath. A moment of perfect stillness, as still as a living body gets. Just let your attention rest right in that space. You can introduce numbers if they help you, or you can just stay with the sensation if that feels good. Great. And we've been working with clarity and noting for the last couple sits. And if you want to continue that practice, being with the breath until a thought or sensation comes up, noting it, and then letting it go and returning to the breath, then that is great. Do that. It's a splendid and simple and clarifying practice, and I'll return to it in future sits. But if you're interested in venturing out into your imagination a bit, then we can give that a go together. The mind may be a bit more resistant or mischievous, and if it is, that's okay. You can patiently be with the distractible mind, or at any time you can return to simply feeling the breath or noting, whatever practice feels safe and solid for you. But if you want to, imagine a place. You can go with the first place that comes to mind, or you can cycle through a couple and see what kind of space you'd like to hang out in. It could be a real place that you've been to before, maybe once or twice, but the details are fuzzy. Or maybe somewhere you know really well. Or maybe a totally fictional place that no one's ever been to. Somewhere you can't go with your physical body. But after you've picked a place, stick with it. Now imagine your body, in exactly the shape that it's in right now, has been magically teleported to the space in your mind. Really be there as much as you can. Maybe you can see your body existing in this space as if you were a fly on the wall, looking down at yourself as you relax and breathe. Or maybe you open your imaginary eyes and you're looking at the space as if you were in it, just as you are. Begin to pay attention to the details of this space. You can't take in the entirety of a space all at once, and that's okay. Maybe start with what you see. What are the colors around you? What are the textures? What are the objects? Are there other living beings, or are you the only one? There's no right or wrong here. Even if it's a real space and you're not sure if you're getting the details right, it doesn't matter. This is your space. Try to say yes to whatever comes up. You don't have to think about it or get it perfect. Just feel into it. It's also okay if you can't actually see it in your mind, or if it's kind of fuzzy. Maybe it's nothing more than a feeling in your body. Or maybe you don't feel anything at all, and you're ready to just return to the breath. That's perfectly okay. If you're still there in that space, see what happens if you send your attention to other details. Sounds, smell, the sense of touch. Whatever comes up. And of course, whether working with a space or just with your breath, your mind will wander. That is okay. When you notice it's wandered, let go of whatever pulled it away. You can note the distraction if you'd like, and return to the feeling of the breath. You can stay here or venture back out into your imaginary space if you want to, and it feels good. You are just a body breathing, but you have been transported to some other space. Really feel into it as much as you can. Great. Just a couple more moments. Savor every breath. One breath at a time. All right, that was wonderful. Whether you got to reinforce your skills of concentration or clarity, or if you experimented with hanging out in an imaginary space, I hope you'll give yourself some kindness and affection for taking this time. As always, anything that came up or didn't come up for you is totally fine and normal and good. There's no getting this wrong. And meditation and imagination and relaxing, they're surprisingly hard work. And a lot of us have to let go of a good deal of harmful messaging in order to take this time out and engage ourselves in this way. So thank you for taking this time out. I look forward to seeing you next time. And remember that wherever you are, you've got all the adventure you need right here. Till next time.